What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. All right, Penguins. He's got some thoughts on the Rick and Morty anime. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you'll miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. Fun fact, one of the earlier videos that I got, the most attention was actually a Rick and Morty video. It was me explaining like the time travel element as far as the meat grinder. I want to say it was that anime aesthetic one. I'm a do a little thing on here to show which one it was. But I heard about the Rick and Morty anime. I didn't know it was gonna be like a legit like anime, but hey, Penguins has some really dope takes when it comes to things. So let's see what he
Did
says.
you know Rick and Morty got an anime and the first episode dropped 2 days ago? I
Yeah, I
certainly
did know.
didn't. I didn't hear a peep about this leading up to its release. There was less hype around this than there was for Velma Season 2, it seems. The only reason I even caught wind of this is because a buddy of mine sent me an article talking about, like, Rick and Morty fans being disappointed with the anime. I thought my friend was just spouting mumbo jumbo. I thought he was back on the Fint again, just eating a full-blown Fint sandwich, talking about a Rick and Morty anime. But it turns out this is a real show, and a lot of people don't seem to like it very much right now. So I decided to check it out for myself, put on the big boy pants, and do my own investigation here and form my own opinion on it, to see if it really is as shitty as a lot of people are making it out to be. Now, I used to really like Rick and Morty, but I haven't watched the last 3 or so seasons, and it's not because I
Same
hate the
here.
show or anything like that, it's just I haven't had any interest in checking it out recently. But I did want to check out the Rick and Morty anime because I just
Anime
have
fan.
this fascination with bad media that I just feel compelled to watch it, or when it comes to games, play it. So there's only one episode out right now, and it's a little early to count your chickens before they hatch. You can't exactly just throw in the towel after the first quarter here, but what a rough start. Jiminy Christmas.
Oh
Zoinks,
goodness.
Scoob. I don't know what went so wrong here. So let's just dive into everything about the episode here. But first off, I'll try and start with something positive. Is there anything I liked about episode 1?
Yeah, is there?
Fucking no. Nothing. Actually, I can't think of a single compliment. If I had to fish for something positive, I'd say
Oh man, pretty much expected. Oh man, and what's interesting is I thought about this. I was thinking about this the other day because I was just like, okay, Terminator's getting an anime, and I was just all like, what are some other properties that I was just all like, that would be a dope anime. On the top of my head currently, because there was a few that I was just all like, what if they made that into an anime? What was the one that I was thinking? Was it Ghostbusters? I was like, okay, like if they just took certain properties, maybe like Ghostbusters, had that into an anime. Um, what else was I thinking? There was a couple of other ones. Let me know in the comments, like what would be a title or property? Because again, I never imagined Terminator being an anime, but now that it's out, well, now that it's being created, I'm just like, oh, that really is a good idea. Let me know in the comments what would be a property that you would like to see turned into an anime. Hell, if you had Game of Thrones into an anime, if you had Sons of Anarchy as an anime, now they're all just starting to come out. I'm just all like, okay, now I'm starting to remember. But yeah, let me know in the comments. That's kind of like in the realm that I'm thinking of, just thinking of these shows, anime versions of them. But the Rick and Morty one, it's like the elements were there, but it's unfortunate. I wonder why it was so bad. I might check it out, just to have my, like you said, to have my own opinion.
I don't think the show can get worse.
Bam.
This is about as messy of a start as you can have to a show. It's not even like a good looking show. It's a really weird style. I'm not going to
Yeah.
play any clips from the trailer because YouTube's been kind of weird with the MCA recently, so I'll just show you a couple images. It reminds me of the way Clifford the Big Red Dog's cartoon looked. It just looks so weird, like it's not
Damn.
finished. It's just like doodles. It looks like a
What
flip
in the
book. And for some
world?
reason, the animation is super choppy. I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but I actually thought my service was lagging and was causing it to like buffer during a couple of the
That
scenes
is
where Morty
weird.
is
Why did they
running.
go that
It
route?
reminds me of the Dive Fantasy music video, you know, where they break into that pool and then a Lovecraftian monster blows that girl's eyes out or whatever. But like 10 steps below that. I don't really
Damn.
understand what they were going for with this style here. It's just not pleasant to look at. I understand trying to make it unique and quirky, but I think this one was a total miss in that regard.
Damn.
Now, let's talk about the actual contents of the episode. Do you remember
Okay.
that episode of Rick and Morty where they go to Blips and Shits and Rick puts that helmet on Morty for a game called Roy? And what happens is it transports him into a life where he spends 55 years living as someone
I
named
remember
Roy.
that
He
one.
experiences love, loss,
I
he has a
remember that.
wife, all kinds of things. And it's a like minute and a half or so montage of life.
Yeah.
And then Roy falls off the ladder and dies. Game over. And that takes Morty out of the game, only for him to realize that those 55 years that he experienced weren't real. In the real world, no time had passed. But to him, that whole experience was real. And it's just a really interesting concept. I actually think that episode's a banger. The Rick and
So, and before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Catalog. Yeah. These are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just check it out because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, guys, it is a banger because let me tell you, I had a acid trip and there was something similar to that, except there wasn't one lifetime, it was 60 lifetimes in a minute. So each second was a whole new lifetime. And how I knew that is because if you've ever played like Crash Band, this is the best way that I can explain it. I was in like living room area, and I remember the time it was 10:52. Like I kept on seeing that. Imagine a Crash Bandicoot place like in Warped, where whenever you finish a level, you go back on the ship type of thing. Imagine that ship being my living room, and instead of going to the levels, it's me living these lives. And I would live from birth to death whole lives. Like literally, I remember some of them. One of them, I was in the desert with a whole family, different things like that, trying to like get this city or whatever. There was other ones. Some of them I wasn't even the same like gender. It was just like literally these lives, and that's exactly what that was. That's why the episode was so dope. Um so I guess they're going off of that concept. I'm not sure why they went with that art style. There was a anime version, like a play around, type of special that had better art than that for the anime. So that's weird. So let's
the
see.
anime takes that and shitifies it. So it takes that
Wow.
concept and instead of giving you like a minute and a half montage showing it, it's a 20-minute episode that tries so hard to be deep and profound but ends up sounding lamer than that classic Rick and Morty Reddit copy pasta about, to be fair, you need to have a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. It's
Wow.
so disjointed.
That is unfortunate. I'll leave the full video so that way y'all could go ahead and check that out. But dang, that is so unfortunate. And it's like I want to see it just so that way I could to just check it out. But there's certain things where it's just all like, yo, don't check it. Like the acolyte, I don't think like a part of me wants to, but then it's just like sometimes I'm just all like, do people like just putting themselves through certain torture? Like you can't get that time back, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. So they took that concept, shitified it. I'm just like, how could they have went deeper with it? You know what I mean? Like, because to me, that's an interesting thing. They could, I think that for me, it would have been cool to for them or for something to kind of go into the concept of the mind and how that is even possible. Of course, they say that the mind doesn't distinguish as far as from like what's actually happening, what you think is happening, as far as that. And so it's just all like, how could the mind almost like stay in place as far as certain things, but allow for there to be this pause for you to be able to experience a whole life and then come back. Like that's what the interesting thing with psychedelics. But to me, it's just all like if they would have dived deep into the mind as far as that particular aspect, like how is that, possible? Even if it's being on psychedelics, different things like that, because like I said, it did feel real, and so it's like oh, they could have went more maybe within that, hearing what Penguin's saying. But if you've seen it, let me know what you think and what type of, ways that they could have went about that, because it being a part of an episode being super quick, that's one thing, but trying to expound on that concept for a full episode, and is that going to be a continuation? It's just all like they could have really just continued everything that they was doing but made it anime, like, and there could have been a lot more as far as on the action, as far as on the technology that they could have took it. So it's just weird that I don't know that they went this route. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. Make sure to like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.